Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. We are going to start with stone processing this morning. I've taken, let me get myself set up here so I have something to work on. We'll probably scale this back is the plan. So, since stone processing and the evaporator are identical, I've combined them into one factory. So, pretty much eliminated the evaporator and combined them into one factory. Now, I was in game, and this thing is, the scale is just off. So, I want to work on scaling this down a little bit and just get the size down, but which means now we're going to have to move all the triggers and the lights and the planes and everything else. So, but it'll be worth it in the end. So we're going to have to rebuild this a little bit. So let me just pull it, since I made it smaller, so let me get it pulled back down to Earth. So that's now a lot smaller. We're going to have to scale down. Alright, so let's take our planes, and we'll get these now we're going to have to get scaled down. So let's pull these over and in. And I'm probably going to have to make these smaller now as well. Yeah, because they're going to be too big. So let's go 0.5. 0.5 and 0.5, and we'll see how that looks. Yeah, that's going to be better. Alright, so we're going to have to redo all of these. And then we're going to have to go in and fix them in the XML. So here's going to be our... So now let me... Alright, so let's eliminate 4, 3, and 2. So we'll take rock salt, we'll duplicate it, we'll move it up so they're in the same order. So we'll call this one 2, and then we'll slide this one over. And then I'll duplicate that one, we'll move it up, we'll call it 3. And so let me get my camera moved over a little bit. So we'll get that one in. And then I'll duplicate that one again. We'll move it up. And we will call it number 4. And so there. So that's all a little bit smaller. The scale is going to be much better once we get back in game. I'll worry about all the lights and the power particle systems and all that in a second. So you are definitely too big now. So let's get you down. So let's go like maybe 2 and 2. Yeah, that's going to be much better. So let's get this over. Yeah, we're going to have a bunch of crap to move and fix. May even go smaller on this shit. We'll see. One is about the same size as the tube. So let's go down to like 1.6, and I can take the width down too. So let's go like 1.6. Yeah, let's make you smaller. And I can even bring the height down. Let's go like 0.8 so it's not as tall. So there's our water. So now we got to fix our water plane. So we've got to scale that down to the size of our pit now. Let me just get it close and then we'll refine it. Alright, so now it's too short. So now we can start refining it a little bit. So let's go 1.5. Alright, since that's the width, let's work on the width first. So let's go back up to 1.55. Alright, so that's good on the width, and let's get our length in the way we want. Let's go to 1.5. Oh, there we go. That'll work. So that's going to be our water. Well, it's actually now our salt water. Alright, so that works. Now, this thing is way too big. So let's take you down. And I may even go, let's go like 0.8, 0.8, and like 0.9. Alright, yeah, that's going to be much better. So we get this down. Alright, so that works. So now let's get our light pole moved over. We definitely need to keep our lights to see to drop our water off at night. So I'll keep that. Let's get this light moved. Well, we got to get all the lighting moved, but let's start with this one. And then the whole footprint of this factory will be smaller. Alright, so that's that. Let's get our player trigger. Now I can slide over and back for the global company menu. So that is going to be a little bit smaller. Our icon is going to have to come back. Alright, that'll work. And then let's grab our warning stripes. And now that can even go smaller. Now we'll leave it, give you plenty of room to drop off your water. Alright, so now we got to fix, let's just start at the top. Alright, so let's fix our triggers. And again, it can even be made smaller. So let's get our triggers fixed. And let me come down here where I can see. It's got to be just above the ground, or the lowest level. Alright, so there is a little bit longer. Alright, so that's that trigger fixed. Trigger 2. Alright, trigger 2 is now fixed. Alright, now let's go to our out. And our loading station now has to get fixed. And it's made a little bit smaller. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the smoke invisible so we can get it adjusted and moved. I want it coming out under here like so, but now the scale's too big, so we can make it smaller. Alright, that'll work. Alright, so there's our out. So that is fixed. Alright, so you're fixed, you are fixed, water tower's fixed. This guy's got to go back into place. And I can make it, I can scale it down now. So let's go back to 1. And we'll get this guy put back. Alright, so that works. Our warning stripes are done. Power pole was done. Our planes were done. Now we got to fix our particle systems. So let's get our fire fixed. Let's get our smoke fixed. Alright, that'll work. Smoke 3 was where? You were on this side. Alright, so let's go here. Actually, I'm going to change you. We're going to move you down and over to here. And we're going to make you a lot bigger, because I think it looks really cool. Alright, so we'll have some smoke coming out of there. So that's that one done. And then there should be one more over like on this side. Yeah, so let's get that one back into place. Alright. So that is our smoke done. Let's get our lighting back into place. So we have that one. Alright. So you come down and in. Let's get all of our lighting fixed. Alright, so there's that one. Same thing with this one. Let's bring it over to this tower. Alright, so that one is done. You now have to come in to here. Opposite side. So let's bring this one in. And then over here. So you got to come back. Alright, so that one's now in place. Now we have one in here. It's got to get moved for our, when we drop off our coal and our stone. Alright, so that one is fixed, and then the last one is where we pick up our bulk goods. So let's get that one fixed. Oh, and I clicked off of it. I know you're over here somewhere. Oh, there you are. Let's try and get this on this cross beam. There we go, something like that. So we got lighting there. So that's all of our lighting fixed. Audio is, I can pull that back a little bit. Player trigger's fixed. Our trigger icon is fixed. Now we got to fix our clear areas. So now we can scale this down and make our factory even smaller than what it was. About there. And then let's go down this way. So that'll fix that. Now let's move our start. Swing my camera around. So the footprint of this factory will be much smaller as well. Alright, so there's our start. bring in our width. And then we'll bring in our height. There we go. So that makes our factory smaller. Let me do a quick save. Now we got to readjust all of our planes. So let's start with the water. So let me find, do I still have it open? I do not. So let's open up Stone Processing XML. And then let's let's start with salt water. All right. So we can change all of our dimensions. Height, yep, our height has changed a little bit, so let's change that. And then let's grab our low point. So our low point is going to be here. So that replaces that one. All right, so that is water fix. Now we got to fix all of our other planes. So now plane 1 is going to be here and here. Our high point has changed. So our high point, I want the same on all 4. And then our low point will be here. So our low point will be the same on all 4. And then we move on to number 2. So which one of them usually stays the same? So 111, nope, that's slightly different. They're usually the same. All right, so let's change those. Back to the first one. Make sure I didn't mess anything up. Oh, I did. Hold on. Okay, it is 224.41. So 224.41. Okay, so that's going to stay the same. So I can change this on all 4. Plane 4. Alright, so those are now fixed. Now plane 2, back to plane 2. Alright, so plane 2, I need to change these. Oh, and then we have to change this dimension on here, and on here. And then plane 3 is now this, and then plane 4 is now this. Alright, so that fixes all of our planes. Now, that should be everything. So let me get rid of the base. Let's do a quick save. We should now be able to throw this. So let me delete this one. That's the old one. Let's zip this back up. And then I'm going to throw it in my test map. So let's grab this. Let's copy it and paste it over. Let me just check on something real quick to make sure I am. All right. Wasn't sure if my internet was still connected or not there for a second. All right, so let's go in game and see if stone processing is a lot smaller, looks more to scale, and then we'll give it a quick test. Now it should still be in the store. I shouldn't have to recheck it. Yeah, stone processing. Let's go in here. Let's throw it down. See if the scale looks much better. Then next on the list is we're going to work on some orchards today. I don't know if we'll get to the greenhouses, but we'll definitely start working on some orchards today. Tab over to where I was working. Over here. Alright, so let me grab some speed because I hate walking slow. And again, if you're new to the channel, this is my test map. We cheat everything in for testing to save time. So let's grab stone processing. We're getting too many factories. It's going to take an hour just to flip through them. Yeah, I thought the scale is going to be much better. It was way too big earlier. Oh, and my planes are messed up. Alright, so let's go back in and fix the planes first. Yeah, even the water's sticking out. Alright, let's go in and fix our planes first. And then everything else should be fine. Let me just check my triggers. Alright, so the water plane's got to be made a little bit smaller. I messed something up, so these two have to move. So I messed something up with those two. Before we do that, though, let me see if my other... Let me just grab... I just want to fill this with salt water. Make sure I have my triggers. So this will now be a combined, if I can drive, a combined evaporator and stone processing in one. Alright, so that trigger is going to work. I don't want to fill these because we're not going to save this. And I just want to make sure my other trigger is going to work. And then we'll come back in and we'll go fix those planes. So let me empty this. Let me just throw in some either coal or stone. stoneworks, just to make sure I get the trigger. And we'll get the trigger. Alright, so I don't have to mess with the triggers. Let's get out here. I'm not going to save. And let's see what I did wrong with the planes. Farm Chick, good morning. Since the evaporator and stone processing were almost identical, I combined them into one factory. That will save us some space on the map, and it'll save a little bit of money. And it'll be easier, because now we're making different products in one factory. But I've messed up some of my planes for some reason. So plane 3 and plane 4 were not spawning in properly. So let's look at plane 3 and see what I did wrong. Alright, so plane 3 should be 224, 41, 224, 41. My height is fine. Oh, 106. Here we go. I know what I did wrong. So copy this one over to here. So that should fix that one. And then plane 4 should be 100.74. Oh, I messed this one up too. Alright, so let's copy this over to here. So that should fix those. And then our water is sticking out a little bit. So let's look at our water plane. Because it was sticking out of the concrete. Which side? Maybe the other side. Yeah, sticking out on this side. So it's got to go a little bit narrower. Too much. Let me back that off. So which one is our width? Which one's changing? Top one. So let's go 0.4 and then see if it's sticking out. Alright, so we're not sticking out on this side. Not sticking out on this side. Now I've got to change all my dimensions. So where's our high point? There's our high point. So now we're going to be, let's find our water plane. So we got to change all of our dimensions now. Oop, hold on. Control C. There we go. And then our Z. Is going to go here. And then my high point is going to go here. And now my low point is going to go there. Alright, so that should now fix that. So let's come out here. Let's get my camera back where it needs to go. So let's save that. Let's eliminate this. Let's zip it back up. And jump back in our test map. Sassy one, good morning. If you're just coming in, I've decided to eliminate the evaporator and add it into stone processing. So pretty much combined the evaporator and the stone processing into one building. Save on resources, time and money and space on the map. And I made it, and then we scaled it down to make it fit more to the scale because it was way too big. Then we're going to work on some orchards. And they're going to be a brand new build. I'm not pulling them out of the map, so we're going to have a lot of work to do on orchards. Alright, so let's come back over here. Let's grab our new stone processing. So I've eliminated the evaporator. So it is no longer going to exist as a placeable. But the scale on this one is much better. It's a lot smaller. And they're still not right. What is going on with my planes? Now number 1 is messed up. Oh, I moved the wrong water. I moved the wrong one. I'm an idiot. I moved the plane 1 instead of plane 5. So now I got to go back and fix plane 1 and plane 5. Let's try this again. Maybe I'll get it right this time. Alright, so plane 1 is rock salt. And I know I'm completely messed these dimensions up. So plane 1, I gotta fix. So you're here and here. My Z is here and here. I want my height on all my rocks to be the same. So let me move this up. Let me move this up. So that fixes plane 1. Now let's fix our water plane, which is actually number 5. So our water plane is number 5. So let me fix these. Oh, so that is the same. 233. 109. No, 109.482. 109.482, and then we got to fix our high point and our low point again. So my low point is 57. Oh, that works. 57.9, so that works. Let's get our high point back in, and then we should be good. So my high point I want about 59 point, let's go 475. Alright, so now that should fix our planes. Wow, the third time is the charm, right? Because I already messed with this morning. Alright, hopefully it will work this time. And then we can move on. So I had a couple releases this morning. Weiss potato chips and Heinz was released this morning. They're now on the Trello board. And I sent the Placeable Refinery and the Placeable Mammoth Mill to the Patreons this morning, so they'll be released next Friday. Alright, so let's come back over here. Let me grab some speed. We'll try this again. And hopefully my planes won't be all messed up this time. I've been messing with this factory like all morning. I'm tired of it. I just want to move on. So I had to rebuild it when I combined the two factories into one, and then I scaled it down, and it's been pissing me off ever since. Alright, so that looks better. So we know we have all of our planes in where they're supposed to be. Our water's not in there, which is good. Alright, so now we can actually test this thing. So let's empty this. So we're going to have to grab some stone and coal. Alright, stone first. And the scale is much better. It was way too big. Alright, so stone. Let's find the coal. There's our coal, so that chur's working. So let me get you just parked here for now. Let's go grab this guy. And he needs salt water. And then our water plane should now work. Alright, let me just zoom the camera over just to make sure we got some water coming in there when I unload this. And we do, so our water plane is working. Alright, so let's let this unload. Let's get this guy out of the way. He can sit. Let me just turn him around. So I don't want to park him where we're going to put a next factory down. Let me just get him out of the way and just put him like right here for now. Make sure our water's not sticking out of the pit. It's not. Alright, so now let's see. Everything should now be active. It is. So we're making lime, calcium carbonate, clean fill, limestone, gypsum, and sea salt. I have to rename this. Alright, so I gotta go in and fix one thing. I just have to rename that. So coal and salt water to make our sea salt, and then everything else is coal and stone. Let me forward a little bit of time, and then I just want to come under the trigger to make sure our out trigger is going to work. And then we just got to go in and rename one thing, and then this factory will be good. So now we should have, yeah, I like this scale much better. Alright, so calcium carbonate, clean fill. Alright, perfect. So there's all of our fill types. So that's working. Our fire's working. Our smoke is working. Alright, so I just have to fix one thing in here. And we should be good. I call this factory done. I'll make sure there's no errors in the logs. Let me save this. Let's get out of here. And then I'm going to check the log first, and then we just got to change a little bit of wording, and we should be good. So now let me just scroll up to the top. perfect. No errors with the factory, so I just gotta go here. Oh, wrong one. Let me pull up my 110. Why does that say sea salt on my 7th production line, unless I forgot to rename it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did. Hold on. There we go. That just has to be changed to a 7. So let's delete this. I want to zip it back up. Let's copy it. Let's throw it back in here. And let's jump back in really quick to make sure the menu's working properly. Then we can move on, which I'm looking forward to. First thing, let me flip over while we're waiting for this to load. Let me flip my page over. So we are going to do, see how far we get today. Orchard 1, Orchard 2, and I'm doing a separate plantation for raw rubber. It's going to be its own little plant because we're going to need a lot of rubber. So I decided to pull it out. So Orchard 1 is going to be apple, orange, cherry, pear, plum, and olive. Orchard 2 will be coconut, banana, cocoa, pecan, apricot, peach. So we'll see how far we get today. I don't know if I'll get them all done. So let's flip back over here. I just want to check the menu and we can move on. If I'm not stuck between the truck and the building. There we go, that's better. So now we can see our sea salt and then we can see our overall production. There we go, perfect. All right, so this is exactly the way I want it. So we can call that fixed and done. Alright, so that I can get off of the list. So let's close. So that I don't need open anymore. That one I don't need to open anymore. That one I'm going to close. We can reload our log so there's no errors in the log. Alright, so that gets us clean. I'm going to call stone processing done. Let me just make a note on my notebook just so, okay, so I'm crossing the evaporator off. This is coming completely off the list. And now I'm going to call stone processing done. Alright, now we can move on. I started importing in a few things we're going to start with rubber plantation. And when I open this up, there's like nothing to it. It's pretty much a fence. So let's get our plane in. And again, we'll make it smaller to fit the factory later. But I just want something to work on. I'm going to get rid of one of the lights just so it's not as bright. And I'm going to take that one, I'm just going to get it out of our way for now so it doesn't affect what I want to see. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to create a cube. I think it's a cube, or I can't remember if it's a cube or a plane. Yep, I want a cube. So I'm gonna leave it just where it is for now. I'm gonna bring it over here. I want to make a concrete platform for us to work off of so the vehicles can drive on it and drop off all of our goods. So I just want to get it sized to the right size, then we'll export it, we'll fix the textures, and then we'll import it back in. But I want a concrete pad for us to drive, and it'll be flush to the ground, for us to drive. So I can make it a little bit narrower. We can bring it down, and we can level it off later, but I just want to get it to size. Bring it in a little bit. And we are going to call it, so let's rename it Platform. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my temporary folder on my desktop. I'm going to delete out stone processing that we were working on. So let's go File, Export, Desktop, my temp file, we'll call it Platform. So now we'll get that out to here. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to grab, before we open that up, let's go into, doesn't matter which one, let's go into the common files. I want to see if I can find a concrete texture, which I do. So this one, do I have a concrete? Let's try this one first. So let's copy that. I need a new folder first. Textures. So let's throw our concrete texture in here. So now let's open up this platform on our desktop. And now I can go here, textures, concrete, and I'm going to just throw a light in here so I can see what it looks like. That is going to be perfect. Alright, so let's take our platform. I'm going to save it. I'm going to close it. I'm now trying to make sure that my texture is hooked to it, and it is. So now we're going to come in here, we're going to delete this platform. We're going to take this one now, and I'm going to take this one, I'm going to go File, Export Selection with Files. We're going to go back to the rubber plantation, and we're going to put it here. And then that I can close, and this temp folder we won't need anymore. So now that it's in my rubber plantation file, I just want to check my texture, which is fine. Now we can import it into here. And it's going to be all messed up. Why do you not come into the game right? It looks good there. Why is it not looking good here? Why are you not importing right? Let me just open it up by itself outside of the... You look fine there. Why do you not look good when I import you into... That is weird. I've never had that happen before. Oh, it messed up the texture when I brought it in. Let's try this again. Oh, I know what I have to do. Okay, hang on. Let us... Alright, let me get rid of this light. Let me get rid of the platform. Let me open this up. I'm going to go File, Save As, Concrete Diffuse, and I want to... Oh, it is a DTX1. I have no idea why it's not importing in properly. it looks good there. And now when I import it into here, rubber plantation platform, it's all messed up. I have no idea why. I've never had this happen before. Let's try changing the texture here to this one just to see what it does. And then let me get a light in here just to see what it looks like. Oh, I can live with that. It looks all like it's going to be old and broken and stuff. All right, I can live with that. So now I just need to move it. Actually, I can leave it where it is. It won't hurt. So now let's get it down. So it is... Let me get it... Well, I got to move it into the factory. So I do have to move it anyway. Alright, well now we can get it down. So we're just driving on it coming into the factory. Like so. Alright, so that is that part fixed. So we're going to put in some, so our inputs are going to be herbicide, water, and either manure or compost. And we're going to take out raw rubber. Now, I think I'm going to change out this water tank to a small water tower. So let's go file, import. Let's bring, what were we just working on? We were just working on stone processing. So let's grab, I'm going to grab the water tower. And I'm going to grab I know I need the trigger, so I'm just going to grab the triggers. Or the icon. And then I'm going to delete this out for now. This one I'm going to delete. We're going to use this one, but we're going to scale it down. So let's go like 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. So I think it's still a little bit too big. So let's go 0.4. And then once we get the trees in here, we can scale it back up if it looks too small. Alright, so there's going to be our water. So we're going to have our water coming in. Now let's go back up to 0.5. Let's go a little bit. Now let's keep it all 0.5 across the board. And we'll see what the scale looks like once we bring our trees in. Alright, so there's our water. So we have our water in, we have our... So we're bringing in water, we're bringing in manure, we're bringing in herbicide. I guess I should have left that other green tower in here, but... Alright, let's import it back in. Let's go File, Import... My external hard drive. Apple Orchard. Let's bring the Apple Orchard back in. This is my very, very old Apple Orchard. And I just want this guy back. So I'm going to go Edit, Cut, and Paste, and we'll take this back out. So where did our water tank go? What the heck? Oh, Oh, so you're going to do that to me, are you? Alright, so let's go 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, there we go. So this will hold our herbicide. Alright, so there's going to be our 3 inputs, and I may take this up just a hair in size. Let me get it positioned the way I want it. Let's bring you out a little bit more and over. Alright, so there's going to be, actually scale looks pretty good. So there's our water, our manure, our herbicide. Now there's something I want to do. Let's go File, Import. I'm going to go back to, I want to bring in the old Heinz. Because I want to grab, if I still have it, if I didn't change it. I do, cool, it's still here. I want to grab this manure tank. So I want this whole tank, and it should have a plane in it. It does. And we're going to make this look like raw rubber. So I'm going to pull this out. So let's go edit, cut, and paste. Let's get it into our factory. Let's delete the old Heinz. So let's bring this over to here. And again, it's going to be one of those weird, oh, it's going to be that. All right, let's see if I can. All right, hold on. I'm going to rebuild it a little bit, I think. Hold on. So let's go. You, aqua tank. Okay, so that's all I need. So you, let's go. Let me try something first. Edit, cut, and paste. Yeah, that's all I need, and then we'll scale it down. So that can get deleted. So let's take this guy, put it in here, and then we can scale it down. So let's go 0.5 to start with and see where that takes us. Ooh, that's going to be, I think, about what I want. So let us something like this. And this will be a tank where we're going to pick up our raw rubber. Just get it right about where I want it. So something like that. Perfect. All right, so that'll be our raw rubber. So let me do a save. So now we have this texture, which is now manure. All right, so let's let me save this and close it a minute. Let's go back in here now and let's fix all of our textures. So I need our trigger icons first, and I can get them out of any. So this one and this one. So let's copy these over to here, and that fixes this one and this one. And now we have to pull a couple things out of my archive folder. So the first thing we need is going to be a shader. And then what shader do we need? We need a stream shader. So let's go back into, I did, I closed it. Let's go back into my archives. Let's go into the Heinz factory. Oh, it's not going to be here. What's my path? Ritchieville, Ritchie Hollow, optimize, oh, common files. So they're in my common files. Hold on. I can close that. Let's go into my common files. Shaders, I can't remember. I need a stream shader. So let's grab this one. Let's get this over here. And that fixes the stream shader. And then we need, under textures, we need liquid manure, which we're going to change to raw rubber. So liquid manure, manure tank, and manure tank. So textures, we need liquid manure, this one. So let's copy that one over to here. And then we are going to need manure tank and manure tank. Manure tank with a capital T, diffuse, and normal. So I need this one and this one. So let's copy those into here, and that'll fix this mess. Alright, so that fixes that. So just close that so it's out of my way. Platform we can now delete because it's already in it. So let's come back in here. And now there shouldn't be any errors with textures. And there's not. So the first thing I want to do is let's go to textures. Let's open up our liquid manure. Let's go to Google Images. Let's see if we can find liquid, or no, hang on. Yeah, liquid, raw rubber texture. See what pops up. So let's go with raw rubber texture. Let's see what pops up there. I don't see anything, unfortunately. What can we make look like raw rubber? You are too busy. You've got a watermark. You are going to be too yellow. You're going to be too yellow. We are not having too much luck. This is a possibility. Let me try something. Let's go copy and paste. And let's bring you, let's go image, resize. Nope, I'm going to have to do it the hard way. So let's bring that down. Let's bring that down. Let's bring you way over. Alright, so let's go File, Save As, let's call it Liquid Rubber. And if we don't like it when we get in game, we can always change it, find a different texture. But let's just take a peek at it and see what it's going to look like. So let's go in here, let's grab that texture, let's reload it. Oh, I know what I didn't do. I didn't rename it. Alright, hold on. We have to go here, we have to go here. And now, nope, it's going to give us this checkerboard pattern. I didn't think that was going to work. Alright, so that one's not going to work. I need a seamless rubber texture. Let's see what pops up there. Let's go seamless liquid rubber texture. I'm not liking anything here. It's got a watermark in it. That has a watermark in it. Alright, let's go with a seamless liquid. Let's try seamless liquid textures and see what pops up there. Alright, let's go with seamless. That's not going to work. Let's go with seamless white texture and see what pops up here. Let's try this one. And yeah, that was the one we were working with. So let's go image resize. Let's go 512 by 512. So let's copy that one. Let's paste it over this one and save it. Now let's go back in here, and then let's click on here. Let's reload that texture. That's better. So that will be our raw rubber texture. Now, let's get our rubber trees in here. So let's go File, Import, Tree, and I may have to adjust the scale. But let's get it turned to 0 first. Let's go, I know there's a tree file in here. Let's go Edit, Cut, Trees, Edit, Paste. Okay, now you're way too small. Let's not do that. Let's undo that. Let's create a transform group. So edit, cut, and paste, we'll call it trees. We'll take our tree, we'll stick it in here. That's better. And it's definitely going to be scaled down, I think, a little bit more. No, that looks about right. No, it's still a little big, I think. Let's go with let's go 0.8 and 8. No, let's go down to like 6 and 6. That's going to be a little bit better. Let's bring our height down a little bit. All right, let's see how that works. And let's get our trees in here. Actually, let me do something else first. Let me go create a new transform group. I'm going to go edit, cut. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to go edit, interactive placement. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to take the tree. I'm going to put it inside of that transform group. And now we can start, we can make a row of trees, and then we can just duplicate them and move them over, instead of putting in one tree at a time. And again, we can, once we get in game, we'll see what the scale looks like, and we may have to adjust the size of the trees, because they may still be too big. It's hard to tell scale when you're in the editor. So let me even these out. Actually, I can probably, no, let me even them out so they're not as close. Spread them out a little bit. There we go. I can live with that. So now let's go. So let's take this whole transform group. And now we can bring in our rows. Bring you to the end. We'll bring you, yeah, that'll work. All right. So those are our rubber trees. So let's do another save. And now we got to start working on our triggers. So you're my manure plane. So I don't have to mess with you, right? Yeah, no, you're going to be good, I think. So there's going to be our manure. All right, so we have an exact fill route. So let's get this guy in place and adjusted. So a little bit narrower, bring him up on the platform, and then bring him down. So, do I need a pallet trigger? What's our inputs? Herbicide is liquid, water is liquid, manure and compost are bulk. We don't need a pallet trigger. I can eliminate the pallet trigger because we don't need it. We're going to put everything into one trigger right here. So that's our in, done. Out, we need a liquid trigger. So let's go. Let me look at my list and see which factory I want to import. Which one is going to have a liquid triggered glue factory? So let's go File, Import, Glue Factory. And we're going to come down here. We're going to go to Out. We're going to steal this trigger. So I'm going to go Edit, Cut, and paste, and then we can take our glue factory, delete it back out. So now we have our trigger to pick up our raw rubber with. And oh my goodness. Alright, so hold on. First thing we got to do is get this thing like scaled down. And it just needs to be, yeah, we're like way too big. I don't want to make it too small because then we'll have a hard time finding it when we come in with the truck. But let's bring you back out. Let's bring you over this way. So if we drive anywhere near this tank, we will get our trigger to load our raw rubber. Alright, so that is done. So our in is done. Our out is done. Our player trigger. So let's get our tour icon in place first. So let's bring this guy over here. And then let's grab our player trigger. This guy, let's bring him back above the map. He can go a little bit taller, but he can now go a lot smaller. So that is our global company menu. Trigger done. Cameras, we're actually on the camera. Now, let's get our lighting fixed, which I am going to need a couple of telephone poles. Oh man, which factory has a telephone pole that I can grab? We have to pull one out of a map. Let me look at the table factory, see if that has a telephone pole in it. I don't think it does. It doesn't. Alright, we're doing this the hard way. Let me save this. Let's go into any one of the maps. And let's grab a telephone pole. We're going to have a lot of work to do to get the XML done to actually make this factory work. We're pretty much going to have to rebuild the XMLs from scratch. Let me close Google Images a minute until we need it again. Alright, so all I need is a telephone pole. Let me come out to the road. We need something to put our lights on since we have nothing tall. So let's go File, Export. Where's our rubber plantation? And let's go pole. Now we can close the map. And now we're going to have to fix the texture on the pole. So back to our rubber plantation. You I can close for now. So I have to go into common files, electricity, and I need fences, diffuse, and fences normal. So I need this one and this one in my textures file. Liquid manure we can now delete because we don't need it. So let's take this down to textures. And then we'll take this one down to textures. Oh, we'll save it. So we can close that mess. Oh, hold on. I can close that out now. So now we can come in here and our pole should be fixed, and it is. So let's go File, Import. Let's import our pole. Alright, so now we have something to put our lights on. So let's put one over this way so we can drop off, so we can see to drop off our goods. Oh, it's cutting into the water tower. Alright, let's just pull it forward. Alright, we'll put one there, and we'll put one on this side somewhere so we can see to pick up our raw rubber if you're working at night. So now let's bring our lighting back over. Where is my lighting? Here. So you can come over here. And you can come up. Alright, so that'll work there. Let's get one over here. Alright, so that is our lighting. Alright, so in is done, out is done, player triggers done. Let's work on our clear areas. They shouldn't really have, let's go in. We don't need to be as big, so you can go there. You can go here. And then you should be like right at the back of our fence, right like there. So that one is done. Our level area is going to be inside of the fence, so that is fine. Our foliage area, because we're going to spawn in grass under our trees, so that should not have changed. So that's our foliage area done. Our complete level area for the entire factory. So let's get you in place here. Let's get you in place here. And my height, bring you in a little bit. Alright, so there's, that one is done. I think, let's save this. I think this is going to be our rubber plantation. Now, what I'm going to do is, since I saved it, I'm going to close it. I'm going to go, we don't need the pole in here anymore. So that can get deleted. And we don't need the tree in here anymore, so that can get deleted. So let's check all of our textures. All of our textures are fine. So there shouldn't, so no texture issues. No texture issues. All right, so this is going to be our rubber plantation. Now, let me go back into my archives. Oh no, out external storage. Let's go back in here. I'm going to go back to the apple orchard because that's what I started with. I'm going to grab the XML. We're going to rename it. We're going to use this as our store icon. We're going to change it. Let's grab this and this in our checker Lua. So let's grab these and paste them into here. And I'm also going to need scripts, brand, category. Let's copy those into here. Yeah, okay. Let's close all this crap for now. This has to get renamed store. Now, we need an icon for our rubber plantation. So those are blank canvas to start with. So now let's go back to Google Images. Alright, now let's go rubber plantation logos and see what we can find. If there's nothing here, then we start over and do a different search. Let's go rubber plantation company logos and see what that brings. Alright, this is getting us closer. Need a symbol. Alright, let's try something completely different. Our rubber tree clip art. Alright, so let's try and find nothing that looks like our rubber trees. Alright, so let's go back to here. I can work with this one. So let's go copy. Let's paste you in here. So let's grab this guy. And let's bring you down like so. And then let's go color picker. Let's pick this gray color. Let's go here. We start with the name. This will work. I can live with this. So I'll save this, and then we can close this. Alright, so there's our rubber plantation store photo. So that is done. I'm going to grab a different mod description because it's going to be easier for me to rebuild it. So let's grab Budweiser. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to overwrite the one that's already in here. So let's start with this. So it is going to be rubber plantation. It's going to make raw rubber. No animated objects, so I can delete that one. There's no pallets because it's liquid raw rubber. And then our XML, we are going to call rubber plantation. So this should be our mod description fixed. Our 110, so this I don't need anymore. That's obsolete. Let's get rid of all these extra spaces. Let's change apple orchard to rubber plantation. So you are going to be rubber plantation. It is going to produce raw rubber. Our product line is going to be raw rubber. We are going to input herbicide. We are going to input water and manure, so our output is now going to be raw. I think it's lower. I can go this raw rubber. And you are no longer an apple orchard. You are a rubber plantation. So that should be our 110 fixed. You have to get renamed rubber plantation. And now we got a big mess to fix in here. So I am actually going to grab, I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to go back into Budweiser. I'm going to open this one up a second, because we're going to have to copy and paste a little bit into our factory to get it the way I want it. So first thing is going to be rubber plantation. Image is now just called store DDS. So this has changed to store. Let's make our rubber plantation, let's go 95,000. Brand has to get changed to my brand. So this gets changed. And then we have to change the category. Category gets changed. So store 95,000, my brand. We can get rid of apple. We're going to keep manure. We're going to get rid of seeds. And we're going to go herbicide. So herbicide, water, and then manure or compost. It is going to produce raw rubber. Our I3d should be rubber plantation. I just want to double check my lower case versus uppercase. So that is correct. So now let's now I need my hot spot. So let's grab this. And let's bring that over to anywhere in here. Let's put it here. Actually, I want a space, and I want a space. All right, so let's go rubber plantation. Rubber plantation. All right, so we're fixed down to there. Our save is now rubber plantation. And then the rest of it we can search and replace. Alright, so there. Now let's come back up here to where we left off. Our image is now just store. So we're fixed up. Let's take our 10-minute delay, change it to a 2-minute delay. We eliminated the palette trigger because we didn't need it, so that can now, now we just have our exact fill route. We no longer have this loading trigger, but we do need our liquid trigger, so let's change that up. So I'm going to go copy and paste. So there's our trigger to pick up our raw rubber. We're no longer inputting seeds. We're going to input herbicide. 500,000 liters is good. So this we don't have anymore. This doesn't have a plane, so that can get deleted. And no more digital display, so that can get deleted. Alright, so input 1 is herbicide. Input 2 is water, so that can get deleted. That can get deleted. Let's clean this up. No more digital displays, so that can get deleted. Alright, so there's our input. Number 2 is water. So you can go. You are now going to be plane 1. Display can go. So that cleans that up. So here's we're inputting our herbicide, we're inputting our water, and then we're going to input our manure or compost. So let's get our plane fixed. Alright, so plane 1. Let's rename you plane 1. And let's see what our dimensions look like. 11.892 to 10.717. I'm not going to change it. Let's see what it looks like. So that our mover should work. Alright, so now we're going to output raw rubber. Our fill type is raw rubber. Our loading trigger is going to change though to this. So let's move that over to here. No digital display, so that can go. Alright, so our output is raw rubber, so that can stay. We are no longer inputting seeds. We are inputting herbicide. So let's take a look at this. 50% water, let's go with, because herbicide is expensive unless you're making it. So let's go 50, let's go with 50% water. Let's go with 35% manure. And let's drop this down to 15%. And it's no longer making apple, we're making raw rubber. We have our player trigger. I deleted the audio because we don't need our plantation making any noises. We eliminated the beacon, so there's no operating parts, so that can get deleted. So I have a nice simple little factory. Input herbicide, water, manure. We're going to get our raw rubber. Now let me clean this mess up. So no more display, so that can go. Loading trigger can go because we changed it. This can go. I have none of this anymore, so that can go. We eliminate, let me get rid of this gap. We eliminated the beacon, so the beacon can go. The audio can go. We now only have plane 1, so they can go. We don't have a palette trigger, so this can go. This can go. We only have 2 lights, so that can go. That can go, and that can go, but I do need my trigger 2 to pick up our raw rubber, so I need this guy moved into here. So I think that's all we're going to need for our I3d mapping. So let's come back up to the top. Now I'm going to have a couple different clear areas. And I don't think any of these have changed. They have changed. So our first clear area is 5. So it looks like all of 9. So these from 9 have to go to 5. So you go to 5. And you go to, oh, come on. You go to 5. 5. And 5, I think. Is that my only clear area? That's my only clear area. So that one is done. Our level area number 1. So we should have 2 level areas. I should have that one and this one. So my first level area is inside. So that's the one that we want grass. So that is number 7. So this one gets changed to 7. And that's where our grass is going to be. My second level area is where my new platform is. So that is number 9. So you go to a 9. What did I do? Alright, so you are now a 9. You are 9. And you're a 9, and that can stay asphalt. Our foliage area is now number 8. And we're going to spawn grass where the trees are. So there's going to be grass under the trees if all works out well. Alright, so I think everything up there is fixed. Our trigger icon is number 11 for our hotspot. We fixed our plane. Alright, so let's see what else we have. Our exact fill route is 0, 0, and 0. our player trigger is number 2. This trigger I don't need anymore, so that can go. Our plane is 0, 1, and 0. So you are 0, 1, and 0. Camera is now number 3. And then our trigger to pick up our raw rubber is 1 and 0, so that didn't change. So now we only have to fix our lighting. So our first one is going to be 6, 0, so these just go to a 6. Alright, so this should be our rubber plantation. So let me zoom out. Let's get rid of the plane. Let's save this. I'm going to close it. I'm going to check. So you don't need any more. Let me check all my textures, make sure nothing has changed, and it hasn't. I'm going to open it up one more time to make sure there's no errors. And that looks clean. Let's zip this up, throw it in map, and see what I messed in the game and see what I messed up. Because I've always messed something up. It's never perfect the first time. So let's go to back to my test map. Let's grab this guy and throw it in here. Alright, now let's fire the game up and see if it'll even spawn in. Alright, so let's go to my test map. Let's see if we have our rubber plantation even in the store. Oh. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze. I hope the mic was muted. Alright, so that's the first good sign. Now let's see if we can get it in game. And what's nice about this rubber plantation is we can use it on all the maps except for Homestead. So if you're not producing enough glue, you can throw another rubber factory down. Or a rubber plantation down. Alright, so let's head back over to here. Let's put it over by the other factories I've been working on. So let me grab a little bit of speed. And then hopefully we don't have to adjust the scale of the factory too much. But let's see if it's even in the store. Yep. That's a good sign. Let's get you turned. Oh, we can flip it this way. Let's line our plantations up over here. So we're going to have a few of them. So let's throw you here. And let's go see what it looks like. Oh, cool. We got our grass. So our grass spawned in. The concrete pad. It's alright. I can live with it. Actually, the scale looks really good. Let's check our menu. So we're going to put in our herbicide, our water, our manure, compost. We're going to get our raw rubber. So that looks good. Let's exit all the way out really quick and check our log before we test it. Make sure we got nothing weird going on with our log. We don't want to spend any time testing the factory if it's throwing an error before we start. No, our log is clean for the factory. Alright, so what do we need? We need water, we need herbicide, and we need manure. So let's grab our truck. So let's grab some water. Throw our water in there. Oh, we didn't set the plane for our raw rubber. Alright, hold on. That's not going to work. I forgot something. Alright, let's save this. I knew I forgot something. And now let's get out of here. I forgot to set the plane for the raw rubber. So let's come back into here. I don't even need to put a working plane under here. Alright, so you, there we go. So you're going to be my high point right here. So now we got to go back into the rubber plantation. My output rubber needs a plane. So we're going to grab this. We're going to come down here. We're going to throw this in here. We're going to call it plane 2. So now let's grab this guy here and here, and then I need this guy here and here. This is going to be our high point. Is going to go here. Oh, missed this one. You're going to go there. Save that. Now our low point is going to be like right here. No, this one. So you are going to go here. Alright, now we need, let's take, let's duplicate this under here. I'm going to call it plane 2, and it's going to be 4, 3, and 0. So you are 4, 4, 3, and 0. Alright, let's save that. I didn't make any changes in the factory, so we can exit without saving. Let's delete this. Let's get it zipped back up. Let's take that, let's throw it back in here. And let's jump back in the game. So now we should have our rubber filling up in the tank as the factory's producing. So let's jump back in here. And we'll find our truck. Oh, I think he's barking at the trash man. Either the trash man or the plow truck, because our road's still covered. One of the two. Alright, so back to our truck. There we go. So now our raw rubber should be way at the bottom of the tank. It is. Perfect. Alright, so we put our water in. Let's grab some herbicide. Right there. Throw a load of herbicide in. Oh yeah, I think it's the plow truck that he's barking at. So let's get this out of the way. And I gotta turn my speed back on. And let's grab our dump truck. And let's throw either manure or compost in here. So let's find manure or compost. Compost, that works. Let's get this dumped in there. Cool, so that plane is working. I can live with that. That should have fired our factory up. It is now active. Let's get some time. I'm going to take it to like it's almost dark. I want to make sure our rubber plane in the tank is coming up. Let me take it down a second. Let's see if, let me grab this truck so we can get some height. And let's see if the rubber plane is coming up in the air. And it is. So our tank is filling up as our factory is making rubber. So let's just run it until it's out of materials. I don't see the plane coming up. Let's go down to 1 speed a second. Let's check. What are we out of? We out of anything? No. Oh, it's producing really slow. So let's bump. Oh, we have 248,000 liters. It's probably not coming up because it holds so much. What's our capacity on our raw rubber? 2 million liters. Let's leave it at 2 million liters. Let's go another 24 hours. I may drop it to 1 million liters because that's the way our fill plane in our tank will work better. It's definitely rising, but it's rising too slow because we hold 2 million liters. You know what? I can live with it. Let's leave it. It's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So our rubber, I can live with that. Let's just make sure our trigger works so we can get the raw rubber out. So let's spin you around. And let's grab. Oh, cool. There's our trigger. So raw rubber. Alright, so that's working. And our rubber in the tank is going down. So that's going to work as intended. So that is our rubber plantation. Nice and small. Put it anywhere you want. Alright, let's save. Let's get out of here. first thing I want to do is go back to the log, make sure there's no errors in the log. So the only one we have is the driving dust, and that's a giant's issue. Alright, so no issues with the rubber plantation. So let's close all this crap we don't need open. I'm going to call the rubber plantation done. So let me just make a note in my notebook so I know what to send Dixie and what's done, what's not done. Alright, so that is one more off of the list. Sassy one looks good to you. Well, thank you. Alright, so rubber plantation is done. Before I work on the orchards, because we're going to do apple, orange, cherry, pear, plum, and olive in orchard 1. We're going to do coconut, banana, cocoa, pecan, apricot, peach in a second one. We're going to do grapes separately. So I want to get the grape one done first, and then we can work on the rest of the orchards. So let's create a new folder, FS19, Richie, grape, what do we want to call it? Grape, let's call it just Vineyard. Is that spelled right? V-I-N-E-Y-A-R-D? Vineyard? Oh, it's got to be a lowercase v. Vineyard? I'm hoping that's spelled correctly. If not, we can come back in and change it. So, I suck at spelling. So this will be our vineyard. It's going to be grapes. But what I'm going to do is we're going to go back to our raw rubber plantation. We are going to keep most of it. We are going to get rid of the trees. So that can go. We're going to get rid of that I can keep for now. So that can go. I'm going to keep this as it is, and we're going to work off of this. Actually, I don't even need the fence. Let's keep the fence for now, and then we can delete it. So let's go File, Export, Placeables, Vineyard. So let's export that out. So let's close this and not save it, because we don't want to mess up our rubber plantation that we just built. So now if we go to our vineyard, we have everything's fixed. So let's open this up and we'll start from there. So let's get a platform to work off of. Alright, so that just gives us something to work off of. So minimize you a minute. Let's go into the hollow map. Let's crack this open. I'll probably go for about another 45 minutes and then break for lunch. Should give us enough time to get the vineyard done, and then we can work on Orchard 1 after lunch. Alright, so we are in... Let me come over this way, because I think this is where... let me turn my speed up a little bit. Alright, let's come over here. Come on, get away from that mess. Alright, let's come over here. There we go. All right, we're gonna pull. So let's grab. All right, what's inside? Which one can I pull? Do I need both? What are you? Oh, you're a sign. Okay, I don't need you. So I only need this. So let's go File, Export. Let's just call it grape. That's fine. Let's close the map. I don't want to mess anything up in the map. So now let's take our grape, and we have to fix all of our textures. So what's nice about it, it dumps a new file in here. So I can grab this whole mess. So let's go copy Vineyard. Oh, you already have textures in you. Alright, that won't work. Let's just do this. Let's go paste. Let's open you up. Let's pull all of you out. Put them in here. Alright, so now I can delete texture 2 file. So let's come in here. Make sure we have no shaders or sounds or anything like that. We don't. So now we can come in here. We can go search, replace, textures. And then we can replace all of them and save it. So now all of our texture pathing is fixed. And when I open this one up, we shouldn't have any errors with textures before I import it into the factory. And we do. We're missing. Oh, so we need our shared. Yeah, okay, I know what we're missing. So let's come back in here. Let's come back to that temporary folder. I need shared. I need this one. So let's copy that into the Vineyard. Alright, so now when we open this back up, there shouldn't be any errors. Now it's clean. Now I can import it into the factory. But the first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of this fence because let's get rid of the fence. Let's pull the ladders out. I'm probably going to save them. So let me just pull one ladder out for now. Let's delete that ladder. We can always duplicate it. Now my fence. Perfect. Let's get rid of the fence. Let's go File, Import. Let's bring our grape in. I'm going to put it inside the factory. Now I'm going to, let's turn it this way. So let's go to square it up to 90. And then let's check a few things. So let's get you like right here. I have no idea what that weird thing is, but we actually don't need it. So now let's clean a few things up. We're going to have the same imports, the herbicide, the water, and the manure or the compost, but we're going to move them around a little bit. I want to take this platform. I think I'm just going to slide it down. Well, let's just go the full length. It gives us a nice clean area to work from. Alright, so that works. But I want to change a few things up. Alright, it's kind of dark. Let me try something. Let me create a light. Alright, that works. It's a little bit bright. Let me try and turn it down a little bit. Because I don't like working when it's like way too dark. Alright, that'll work. And we'll just delete that light out in a few minutes. Now I don't like where, actually we're going to change this up a little bit. Let's take our water, let's pull our water down here. And I'm not going to need, actually let's get rid of that light, it makes throw me off. Alright, so let's get rid of this pole. Let's move this light back here. And then this pole can go. Alright, so that'll give us a little bit light there. This ladder is going to be out of place for this, so let's just get rid of this. So there is our water out of the way. Let's slide our tank down. I'm debating whether we even need this platform. Alright, hang on. We're going to do something. Let me turn it this way. Let's go to 90. Let's bring you over here. Let's bring you down. So you're back here. Like so. Now let's bring this guy back here. And actually we don't even need the full length, so we're going to make that even smaller. Let's put you there for now. Let's put you here for now. Let's get you, oh, you I want. Yeah, so let's get you over here and turned this way. So you're going to be right there, but you're going to be just outside of the fence. Like so. Alright, so now let's bring our plane over. Get that back into place. And let's get you lined all back up. Alright, that'll work. So now we can take this guy, we can bring him over and out a little bit. We can take our water tower, so he can come over now. And then we can take this guy and we can go a lot smaller. Like so. We'll mess with lights in a minute. So now we need let's bring our trigger over. Oh, I know what we need. Hold on. We're gonna have to make this bigger. We need a silo to pick our grapes up in. So let's make that a little bit bigger. But anyway, so our trigger is going to be here to drop off our manure, our water, and our herbicide. So that is fixed. I am going to eliminate, I'll leave the light pole there a second. Let's save this. Let's import in, let's go to my archives. Let's go back to the apple orchard. I want this silo. So let's go edit, cut, and paste. What does it do? It like disappeared. Oh, you're way too big now. All right, hold on. So let's go edit, cut, and paste. There we go. That's better. So let's bring you over. So we need a place to pick up our grapes before I take the apple orchard back out of the map. So let's bring you this way, square you up to 90. Let's bring you back. Like so. Oh, you're way up in the air. Hold on. That's why you don't look quite right. Alright, perfect. So this is where we're going to pick up our grapes. We're not going to load apples, so I can actually get rid of that. Alright, so now I can actually get rid of, where's my second factory? Oh, I need to trigger, hold on. So let's go to out. So let's go to out. I need this trigger. So let's go edit, cut, out, edit, paste. Gas station trigger we can go because we're not picking up any liquids, so that I can get rid of. And now we can take this guy, take him back out. Now let's get our out trigger fixed. So and we can make it a lot smaller. So let's come over here, let's get that into place. Yeah, it's just now way too big. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make part of it invisible so we can get it adjusted right. So you have to come out of the pipe. But you are way too big. I'll finish getting it in place in a second. I want to make it a lot smaller. It's way too big. So we're going to have our grapes coming out of here. Alright, that'll work. Now let's bring our smoke back in. And it's still way too big, so let's make you smaller. So let's go like 0.7, 0.7. Yeah, that's going to be much better. Alright, so that is our out trigger done. Now let's bring this pole over here so we can get some light over here. And then let's grab this guy. Let's bring him over here. And let's get him into place. Alright, so that looks good over there. We have this guy here. I'm going to duplicate him. Let's spin him the opposite way. Get a little bit of light on the back side. So we get a little bit of light at night. And then I actually want to take, where's that pole? This guy. Let me duplicate him. Let's bring one over here. Let's bring another one up here. And let's grab, oh, it doesn't matter. Let's grab that back one. And let's bring you over here. So we're not really dark at night, and we get a little bit of lighting going on. And let's spin you to 0. Let's bring you back. Did I? Oh, I didn't duplicate that pole. I just moved it. All right, so you're going to go back there. So now we can take this light and get this light into place. All right, so there's our lighting. There's a couple more things I want to do. Let me do a quick save. Grab a sip of coffee. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get this done before lunch. So if we don't, I'm going to try and go about another half an hour. But if I don't get it done before lunch, we'll finish this up after lunch. There's a couple more things I want to do. Now let's take this. If I can find this whole mess. I'm hoping it's what it is. Cool. Oh, it's not. We're going to have to do this in sections. All right. Let me see how tall. It's not. All right, so let's bring you up. I want to make you a little bit taller. And I'll show you why in a second. How are you? All right, that might work. We'll see. If not, I can always change it back. So you, all right, so we should have 3 of them. All right, so let's take, all right, so we went to 1 point, let's go 1.9. So let's take you to 1.9, get you up to this height. And then let's take you to 1.9 and let's bring you up to this height. Alright, so that will work. So save. So now let's go to here. I'm going to create a new folder. Particle systems. I want to go to, where do I have one? Species scrambles, particle systems, water spray. So let's go file, export, desktop, Vineyard, particle systems, water spray. Now, there's something I've got to do first, because this thing is really crazy if you don't position it right. I want to go see which way my arrows have to be pointed. Alright, so let me find my water spray a second. Alright, so the blue, let me grab my notebook. The blue has to be pointed back, so the blue has to be pointed away, and then the green has to be pointed out, or it doesn't spray right. so let's get out of here. You should have everything you need, and you do. Alright, so let's come in here. Let's close some of the stuff that we don't need open to make it easier to work. Let's just make it a lot easier to work. Alright, so I'm going to create a transform group. And paste. We're going to call it particle systems. Now I'm going to go file, import water spray. So edit, cut. I'm going to throw it in here. And now, here's where it's going to get a little bit tough. So let's go edit, interactive placement. Now, my blue has to be pointing away, right? And it is. So that part should be good. My green has to, oh cool, so it's actually going to fall right into place, just about. So let's get you up here. Right, hold on. It's going to be really hard to get into place. I want it to look like there's water spraying down. Now the problem is I can't duplicate these. I actually have to import them all in individually. So I'm not going to put a lot of them in, but we'll put a few of them in. And then if we like it, we can put more in. So let's go. So I don't even have to mess with them. So let's go file, import water spray. And paste. And here. Alright. Let's throw one here. So file, import. We could spend hours just putting these in. And if they look really cool when we get in game, we'll definitely come back in and put some more in. So let's throw one there. And are you no, you should be, are you off? Yeah, you are off a little bit. Hold on. Bring you back, bring you over. Alright, something like that. Now let's throw another one here. So let's go file, import water spray. So let's go edit, cut, and paste. And here, nope, you are off. All right, hold on. So you've got to come up, over. Yeah, these things are a royal pain to get into place. All right, something like that. So that's that row done. Let's grab, so that's the first row. Let's come over here. Let's go file, import. And like I said, this is going to be easy. These things are going to be a pain in the ass to get into place. And we're probably going to end up adjusting these a couple times once we get this thing working and in game. Something like that. All right, that'll work. So let's throw another one here. And how close are you? Not even close. All right, something like that. And then let's throw another one here. Oh, that one actually fell into place. All right, that was actually easier. So let's come back. So that was that row. All right, let's come back to, let's throw a few in this row. So let's go here. Let's go File, Import. And something about there. Nope, you're going to be off. You got to come up and over. And back a little bit. Alright, so. Alright, so you look like you should work. Alright, so let's come down here. Let's throw another one like here. And you're that. Like I said, we're going to probably end up adjusting some of these. Let's throw one on the end. Let's go in one. Let's throw one here. Alright, now let's get one more row here on the end. So let's go File, Import. Alright, alright, that'll work. Let's bring one about here. Back a little bit. Over a little bit. Alright, and let's get one more down here. Back a little bit. Alright, so that should work. So that's, I don't know if that's gonna how it's gonna look, but we'll find out. Alright, so let's save that. Alright, so let's start at the top. So in is finished. Out is, why does that not, okay, out is finished, so that's done. Player trigger and icon, we're gonna have to move. So let's get those. So let's get our icon moved over here for our global company menu. And then let's get our player trigger moved. And then let's just turn it so it doesn't interfere with our triggers. So you can go about there, so that'll work. Now our clear areas we're going to have to fix. Alright, so the first one was there, here, and here. So starts to the left. So you actually have to come over here now. So this is our first one. So there's our start. Here's our width. And then our height now has to come over here on this corner. For our platform. Alright, so that's that one. So that fixes that one. Lighting is done. Our level area was where? So our level area was start with and height. Okay, so that needs to be the size of the vineyard. So this one has to come down to about here. Width is about right. I don't think I have to move that one. Let's come back a little bit. So right about there. Now my height has to go on this corner. So you've got to come back to this corner of the fence. Something like that. So that takes care of that. Now our foliage area for our grass, because we're going to spawn grass in under where the grapevines are. So you are about right. Oh, so that corner is good. Our width, no, I don't want grass all the way out there. So let's bring our grass over to about, and actually, yeah, let's bring our grass over to about here. And then let's bring our height is about right. So that I don't have to move. So that's going to be our grass. Oh, wrong one. I don't want to move that one. So this one has to stay. I was moving the wrong one. So you have to stay there. All right, now our grass, sorry. Corner 1, corner 2, and then corner 3. All right, so corner 1, we want our grass to come in there. This is the one I wanted to bring back to about here. And you've got to come back to, let me line it up with the front one and then we'll take it back. So my front one, corner 2 was about here. So a little bit past the fence post. Corner 3, let's get it about the same width. Now I can bring that one straight back. So I want my grass to be here. So that'll work. So that's our foliage area. And my last level area was the same width as the platform. So my start has to come over here. My width has to come over here. And my height has to come back this way. Oh, something like that. So let's come back up here. So in is done, out is done, player trigger is done, clear areas are done, our lighting is done, our level area is done, our foliage is done, second level area is done. You're good. Power poles are good. Particle systems are good. Alright, let's do a save. And I think everything's going to work. Papa Smurf modding. Click on the sprayer index and click the play button. Ah, hold on. I didn't even think about that. Let's go back to... Can I do the whole particle systems, or do I have to do the emitter one at a time? Okay, that's gonna work. That's gonna work. I completely forgot about that. Thank you, Papa. Alright, let's get back to... Why did emitter 1 go that big? I have no freaking clue. I didn't change any dimensions. That's going to bother me now, because they were tiny when I put them in. Why they went that big is beyond me. I'm not going to mess with it. We'll see what it looks like. Alright, so let's do a save. I'm going to do a save and I'm going to do a quick close. I want to make sure... so this can now get deleted. And then this... I shouldn't have any more texture errors. We do. We got to fix some textures first. So I have to go back into... oh wow, we got to go... No, I got to go into my... I do. It's actually, no, we can go into our common files folder. And then we can go to... textures, and what do we need? I need farm silo system diffuse and normal. So I need farm, farm silo system diffuse and normal, so I need these two brought over to here, and then I need farm silos, capital S, specular, this one, no, farm this one, farm silo specular, I need this one brought over. And then the last one I need is silo red. Let's see if I have silo red in here. If not, I'm going to have to go into a different folder. And I do not have silo red in here. Alright, so let's go back to... Let's go back to my external hard drive. We got to go back into the apple orchard. And I need silo red. I need this one. So let's copy that one into here. Now, when I fix these, we go back into our Vineyard. We shouldn't have any texture errors. Papa Smurf, I need you in Discord at some point today, because I need to go over all the secret factories with you for the new map, so you can work on the auto-load trailer. Alright, because I don't want to show, I can't show them on camera. Alright, so let's go back into our vineyard. And when we open this back up, I shouldn't have any errors. Chef is in the house. And we have no errors. Alright, so this should be, this is going to be our vineyard. So let's grab, which one did I copy? I copied our rubber plantation. So I need scripts, this, and this. Let's copy these over to here. Now we're going to have to rebuild all of these files. So let's start with the store picture. So we need something with a vineyard. So let's go back into my archives. Nope, wrong one. Because I used to have a grape orchard. Let's see what the store photo looks like. I can work with this. All right, so let's take you and let's go like this. Let's get rid of our rubber tree. Let's take the first part of this and paste it in there. And then let's go back to black. And then let's go. That works. So let's save that. So there's our store photo. Mod description. Alright, so you are now going to be vineyard. You are going to make grape. Is it grape or is it grapes? I can never remember. I can't remember if it's singular or plural. You are grapes with an S, so you are plural. So you're going to make grapes. Our XML is going to be called Vineyard. So this should be our mod description fixed. Let's go to our 110. We are going to change rubber plantation to vineyard. We're going to change rubber plantation to vineyard. It's going to produce grapes. We are going to be grape production. Our output is going to be grapes, and then our factory name 2 has to go to vineyard. So let's save that. Chef, I think you mentioned at one point tweaking them and putting them on your site. Oh, you're talking to Papa. All right, I will stay out of that conversation. All right, so that should be our 110 fixed. Let's change rubber plantation to vineyard. And let's get this edited. So you are vineyard. We're going to bump the price up a little bit. None of our inputs, so we're still inputting the same thing, herbicide, water, manure, or compost. It's now going to produce grapes. So that one's done. Our I3d is Vineyard. So that is done. Our hotspot is going to be Vineyard. So that's not going to change. Our save ID is going to be Vineyard. And then the rest of this now I can do a search and replace. Alright. So we are up to here. Loading trigger 2 we no longer have because we're not picking up liquids, we're picking up bulk. So I've got to put a different trigger in here. So what factory can I steal it from? Which factory is giving me which factory? Wood chipper. Let me open up the wood chipper XML a second. Yes, I need to steal this. So let's go copy and overwrite this. So there's my correct trigger. We're still inputting herbicide. We're still inputting water. We're inputting manure, but we moved our plane. So let's fix our plane. So our manure, let's get this fixed. I'm not going to change our height because that's going to stay the same. All we did is slide it to a different spot. Alright, so that is our manure. We're no longer outputting raw rubber, we are outputting grapes. And our fill type is grapes. And it's just loading trigger without the 2. We have no plane, so that can go. So those are outputs. So our input's done, our output's done. We're not going to output raw rubber. We are going to output grapes. And we got rid of plane 2, so that can get deleted. And we have to add more lights in. So, and then I have to add in my trigger. So I need all of this to replace trigger 2 because we have no more trigger 2. Alright, so now let's start at the top and work our way back down. And I don't think any of this has changed. So our clear area is still staying number 5. So that can stay. Our level area is still number 7. Our foliage area is still our foliage area is number 8, so that didn't change. Our second level area is number 9, so that didn't change. Our trigger icon for our hotspot is number 11. Alright, so none of that has changed. Our fill route is 0, 0, 0. Player trigger is 2. Our plane didn't change. Our camera is 3. Now our discharge nodes. None of those have changed, so they're all this. Actually, it has. No, it hasn't. So that's all the same. So the only thing we have to fix is our lighting. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we now have 5 lights. So I just got to add a couple more lights in. So we're adding 3 more lights in. We just have to, so it should be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yep, 6, 4, 10. All right. So that is our XML should be good. So let's do this. Let's get rid of the plane and we'll save it. Let's exit out. I always, do I have 2 open? No. So let's go back to our Vineyard. I always double check my pathing, so that's all good. I always open it up one more time to make sure there's no errors. And that's good. All right, so let's zip this up and let's see if we can get it in game and how many errors it's throwing. So let's go to my test map. Paste this in there. I'm going to check on something real quick. All right. So now let's go into my test map. And let's come over to my test map. Now I should have a new store icon for the Vineyard. And we do, so that's the first good sign. Dixieland in the house. Dixie, I'm going to have a couple more factories for you tonight to test. So let me go in game here and I'll show you what I've got working this morning. Alright, so let's get in here, and we're 7:30 in the morning, that'll work. Alright, so let me flip over to the area I've been working on this morning, over here. Alright, so let me go to this next vehicle. Oop. Where was I? This one. Let me zoom out a little bit, but let me get a little bit of speed first. Alright, so I told you last night I had eliminated the evaporator. So what I have done is I taken the stone processing in the evaporator and I had turned them into one factory. So now we are inputting coal, salt water, and stone. And it has lime, just coal and stone. For lime, calcium carbonate, clean fill, limestone, and gypsum. And then there's a separate production line, coal and salt water. It's going to make sea salt. So we're making everything now in just this one factory. And I scaled it down so it wasn't as big, and it looks better when you drive a truck over to it. So I scaled it down about 1/3 of the size, so it looks a lot better. So now we have, I've got all of my fill types here. So calcium carbonate, clean fill, gypsum, sea salt, limestone, lime. Oh, I didn't want to do that, but I can empty my truck. So that's working. And then we put our coal, so we're going to dump your coal and your stone right there. And you're going to add your salt water here. So that's all scaled down and looking much better. And then I built our rubber plantation this morning. So let me just empty this truck out. We don't need to clean fill in it. All right. So rubber plantation is built this morning. So we have our herbicide, our water, our manure or compost, and we're getting our raw rubber. So that's all working. So let's throw down our vineyard. Let's throw it back here so I can save some space. And let's see if it's going to spawn in. So we have our grass, so that's cool. So the grass spawned in like it should. We have, oh cool, so we have our concrete platform. The silo I may scale down a little bit more because it's a little bit too big. Alright, let's look at our menu, make sure it's not throwing any errors. So herbicide, water, manure, we're going to get our grapes. Before we test this, I'm going to check the log real quick. And make sure the factory's not throwing any errors, and it's not. So now, let's get back in here. All right, so let's grab, oh, wrong way. Let's grab our truck. Let me get the raw rubber out of it, because we know it works. Let's throw some water in it. Alright, so water trigger's working. After I test this, I'm going to jump out of here for about 45 minutes for lunch, and then I'll be back. So let's grab herbicide. And we're going to start building Orchard 1, and then if we get that done, we'll work on Orchard 2. Okay, I know there's herbicide in here somewhere. Did I pass it? I did. So let's get our herbicide in. Let's get this truck out of the way. And let's grab our dump truck. And let's throw in either manure or compost. Compost. So that fill plane is working. Alright, so that should have activated. It is. So let's grab a little bit of time. Back down to 1 speed, and let's make sure we get our grapes out of here. Alright, so this is working. So you have your, because you're going to need a lot of grapes for your fermenting house that's already been released, and we're going to make grape jelly at some point. So I wanted to do the vineyard separately, but why do I have my water sprays? Oh, I didn't link my water sprays. All right, hold on. We got to fix it. I forgot to link my water spray. Alright, so let's come back into... We forgot the best part! And then I'm going to break for lunch as soon as we fix this. So let's open our Vineyard back up. So I'm going to need all of the I'm going to have to map all these I3ds. So I just want to get that open for now. Let's go back to here. I'm going to open up species scrambles, and I'm going to grab this XML because I need this mess. So I'm going to grab these operating parts. I'm going to move them over to the Vineyard. And this is, yeah, so you have to go right under here. There's no sound, so let's get rid of that. And then we have no smoke, so we can get rid of that. But we have how many of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, lucky 13, look at that. So let's get 13 of these in here. So that's 8. That's, oh, what did I mess up? Hold on. Let's try that again. Control C, Control V, so that's 8. That's 12. I just need one more. Alright, so now let's renumber these. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Oh, 13. And then I need my I3d mapping, so let's grab these and let's bring them over to here. So that's 4, 8, 12, and I just need one more. So 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Now let's get our I3ds mapping in. So it is, first one is going to be 16. So 7 gets changed to 16. Let me try that again. 7 goes to 16 all the way down. And then I'm going to get out of here for lunch. Alright, so we're 16. So what was the first one? 16, 0, and 0. Second one, 16. So you're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and then the last column should stay all zeros, I believe. Yeah. So so the last column has to go to 0. Alright, so let's save that. Let's close this. Let's delete our vineyard. Let's zip it back up. And then let's grab our vineyard, throw it back into here. Now let's go back in game and see if our water spray is actually going to work this time. I missed the best part. But I know there's a ton of you watching. I apologize. I've been up since like 4:30 this morning. I've not had breakfast or lunch. So I do have to get out of here for about a half hour, 45 minutes. And then I will be back. Now we can actually go right up until dinner time. But I hate leaving y'all, but I do have to grab something to eat. See if our water spray is going to work. May have to sell the factory and put it back down, I'm not sure. So let's come over here and find our... I thought I sold off all these vehicles I don't need. Guess I didn't. So if we back up here, we should see if our water spray is working. And they are. Are they going the right way? Nope, they're all spraying the wrong way. I'm going to have to move every one of those nodes. They're spraying sideways instead of down. So we're going to have to turn every one of them. Why they're spraying down in the editor and they're spraying sideways in the game, I have no idea. It's done this to me in the past. Alright, so let's get out of here. I'm going to fix this. This is going to kill me, but I want to get this fixed before I break for lunch. I want this off the list so we can work on Orchard 1 and Orchard 2. Alright, so now let's come back in here. And I'm gonna turn just one or two of them, and we're gonna go back in game and see if it fixes it. And if it fixes it, then we'll come in and fix the rest of them. So I'm going to take this one, and I'm just going to go like this to 0. I'm going to take the second one, and I'm going to bring it down to 0. All right, so let's... What the heck are you doing out here? Hold on, I gotta see something. I gotta put my plane down to make sure I'm not going crazy. So that might be under the factory. What are you doing out here? And I don't want it to mess me up. I don't want to delete. I want to mess up any of my I3d mapping. I'm just going to drop it down there for now, and I can fix it later. Alright, so let's get rid of our plane. Let's save this. And I'm going to come back in. Let's zip this back up. And if the first two work, then all I have to do is change the rest of them. So let's copy you. And let's overwrite the one on my test folder. Let's jump back in game. I appreciate everybody stopping in, taking time out of their day and saying hello. Very, very much appreciated. So yeah, we'll turn some of the grapes into jelly. We could do strawberry. We got a bunch of different ones we could turn. We'll do like maybe like a Smucker's factory where we can turn, strawberry, peach, grapes into jams and jellies. Because we're gonna need peanut butter and jelly for our sandwich factory, and I'm actually gonna update Hershey's to add peanut butter. So the next map update will have Hershey's will be making peanut butter. Alright, let's come back over here. I'm going to off camera, I'm going to get rid of all these darn vehicles I don't need in this test map anymore. But now let's come over here, and it's still spraying sideways. No, they're spraying down. Alright, so I got to go in and just change all of them so they're spraying down. That's an easy fix now. Now that I know it's going to work. So now we can go in and fix these really quick. Peach, apricot, raspberry. They are all good. Yeah, we'll definitely do a Smucker's. Actually, before I forget, let me go to my notebook. Let me go to my list of to-do. Let me go to my to-do. Where's my to-do? Alright, let me add it to my factory list. Smucker's. It is officially on the list now. It's way, way down on the list. Like a month down on the list, but at least it's on the list. Alright, so let's come back in here. So all we have to do now is go to our particle systems. We fixed the first one, the first two. So we just have to rotate the rest of these down to 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0. Alright, so let's get my camera back in place, because this is the GIU camera that you'll look up in the Control G menu. Let's save this. Let's zip it back up one more time. Copy it, throw it in my test map. And now all the water sprays should be fixed. Dixie's never short. I know. She's got more ideas than I can keep up with on building factories, but there's like 30 already on the list. And I want to get to building a new map, but I got to get all the basics done first. We got a lot of surprises in store, so that's why I'm getting really aggressive, trying to build 2 to 3 factories. 2 to 3 factories a day, so we can get really aggressive, get them all out there, so I can start working on the new map again. All right, while I'm waiting for this to load, let me know, y'all in chat, if you have not seen the new map yet and you want me to take a quick 5-minute tour before I break for lunch. Oh, so we could do a quick map tour. Alright, so that's better. They're all the water's now spraying down. Now eventually, if I feel ambitious and I can't sleep tonight, I'll put some more in. But that'll get us started. So if I can't sleep, I'll put more in, but I think that's good. I think I'm going to call this, I think I'm going to call the vineyard done. Let's get out of here. No one has answered me in chat if they want to see the new map or not. So I'm going to take that as a no. Let me see how many viewers I have. I've got like 7. So I'm going to throw you all on ending soon. If I don't get a yes, that y'all want to see the new map real quick, I'm going to break for lunch. Alright, I guess that's a no. Alright, I am going to break for lunch. I'll be back in like half hour, 45 minutes. I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their day, stopping in and saying hello. Sassy one, thank you. I will enjoy my lunch. I will see you later. Dixie, I don't even know what I'm making yet for lunch, but I'm making something for lunch. But I'll see y'all in about 45 minutes.